Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be playing a dropping themed Clash Royale deck where all the cards that we're using are going to be dropping from the sky. So we have the Evo Skeleton Barrel, which drops skeletons from the sky. The balloon drops bombs. We then have a couple of spells that come flying through the air and dropping. And then several cards that drop and do drop damage when they fall. So every card today is coming from the sky. We're going to see if hopefully we can drop in and surprise our opponents with this deck. I don't know how good it's going to be, but we might be able to use the synergy of like the Mega Knight and the being able to tank for the Goblin Barrel. I know that's something my younger brother does. He sometimes uses a Mega Knight Goblin Barrel deck where the Mega Knight is tanking. And if this guy is using Hog 2.6, that's not going to be great because we don't have a building, but we might be able to use the Mega Knight to damage the Hog Rider, except that we just gave him the most fireball value of all time. Yeah, this is gonna be difficult, but today's message that I wanted to share with you is it essentially comes down to don't force yourself to do anything. And what I mean by that is if you're in this is something that I learned being in the career profession that I was. If you're in a job that you don't like, it's going to become miserable after a while. And oh man, yeah, this is not going well. But essentially, I used to have a job in the car industry where I would sell cars, and I did really like the car aspect of it because I've always really liked cars, but I didn't like the selling cars aspect of it because it would involve being around people all day, interacting with them, being social with them, finding out what their needs were, essentially talking and interacting with customers all day. And it's not something that I enjoy doing because I'm not a very social person. I'm much more introverted than extroverted, and I like my alone time. I like to spend time mostly by myself, and I don't get energy and excitement from interacting with other people, and so it just kind of wore me out after a while. But the thing was, the pay was really good. It was a really good job. I got it right out of high school, so I didn't have to go and get a degree for it. I just went right into it. Again, the pay was really nice, and it was probably the best paying job I could have without having a degree. And so it's a job that a lot of people would love to have because it doesn't require any experience or a degree. It pays really well, but it wasn't a job that I liked, and I forced myself to do it for quite a while. And I ended up switching to like a couple different positions within the company. I wasn't selling cars the entire time, but I was probably selling cars for a little over a year, and it kept wearing me out, and I started to hate going to work, especially because the hours were really long. There would be sometimes there would be 12-hour days. If it wasn't a 12-hour day, it would be like an 8-hour day. So it was long, and I eventually just started hating it. And I just started hating going to work. But I told myself this is the best job that I'm going to get as far as pay goes with no experience. So I kind of kept forcing myself to go because money is important. Money is needed to live in this world, And so I would kind of force myself to go to work, but I didn't enjoy it. And I just started hating it. Every day I'd wake up, I would dread going to work. And you know, I really began to not be happy with it after a while. And you know, eventually I ended up quitting eventually, and I think I'm gonna plan on trying something new, trying something else to see if that kind of gives me a passion, I guess. But that's something that a lot of people do. A lot of people just have careers, have professions that they don't like simply because it pays the bills. And it's something that my dad actually experienced recently as well. He was in marketing for a really long time, for 30 years or so, and near the latter part of his career, he began to really not like it and really began not being excited to go to meetings, not wanting to really do his job. He'd kind of drag himself to work, and again, this was after 30 years, and just recently he went back to school and is now interning to be in therapy. So a completely different career switch, which just kind of proves that it's never too late to switch something. Okay. Wow, that rarely happens. But it's never too late to switch up, to do something that you're actually passionate about. And I think it's much more important to do that than to simply have a job that pays well. So if you're worried about, you know, going into something that you like doing or going into something that pays well and you don't feel like you can have one or the other, I would encourage you to just do something you're passionate about. Don't worry about money first, because it's my belief that if you do something, if you do a job, if you do a career that you're passionate about doing, you'll do much better at it because you're going to be passionate about it. And if you do really well at it, then the pay will follow, because you can make money doing anything as long as you're really good at it. And so I would focus on that. I'd encourage you guys to reflect on what gives you passion. Is it creating something? Is it helping somebody? Is it maintaining something? You know, and then just follow what you're passionate about, because if you force yourself to do something that you don't really like just to pay the bills, it's you're going to get worn out after a while, and you're really going to start to hate it, because you can only pretend for so long. So anyway, that's today's message. Follow your heart, do what you're passionate about, and I'll see you guys in the next video.